Hello, I'm Maurice Stewart. Welcome to our first first episode of Sky Viewers International Podcast, or SVI Podcast. My guest today is Mr. Maurizio Molinari, my namesake in Italian, I guess, from Rome, Italy. He is an aeronautic engineer who advised me that he had a passion for astronomy ever since he was a young boy. Mauricio,
Yeah.
welcome to the program.
First of all, thank you, Maurice, for inviting me and telling my story about this wonderful hobby, this astronomy and astrophotography. Yeah, I'm keen to answer your question about my experience. As you said, I started long ago when I was a very young kid. And I remember my grandfather gave me a gift at Christmas of a booklet about the moon and a small telescope, which I loved a lot, and I started to use to watch the sky. And since then, I never stopped doing that. I've been using binoculars and learned to recognize constellations on the sky. I remember I couldn't miss the opportunity to learn and recognize the stars on the sky. It was really something that I couldn't avoid at all. And since then, I have grown my passion for telescopes and astronomical instrumentations. And after clearly some period of pause, given the needs for working and family commitments, I'm still fond of watching the sky. And in the last 10 years, I really accelerated my knowledge, and I've been using different type of instruments, refractors.
Yeah, let me, that is exactly, in fact, I wanted to ask you before you go on, what really inspired you to start this exciting hobby called sky watching, astronomy?
Well, the sky every night is a wonderful piece of art, and I couldn't really miss opportunity to learn how to recognize stars and constellation names. So I started really reading books about this subject, and I achieved the object of learning how to recognize objects in the sky. And clearly the use of instrumentation has been
what type of instruments, what type of equipment do you use?
I'm currently using both refractors and reflectors. I've got a wonderful astrophysics 5 inches refractor from America, which I have mounted on a Japanese mount, portable one. And I've got a Dobsonian 14 inches telescope from Skywatcher, which I'm at the moment upgrading to be mounted on a AQ mount from Skywatcher, which will be a quite massive tool gear, which I hope to start using in the next few days, really.
Good. And what have you achieved as an amateur astrophotographer?
Well, I was really keen to obtain the most detailed image of the astronomy object as possible. In particular, with planetary observation, I capture wonderful images of Jupiter, Mars, and the Moon, for example, which are the closer planets to Earth. But as well on deep sky, I managed to learn a processing technique to capture, stack, and refine images of deep sky objects like galaxies, nebulas, globular clusters. And in the last 10 years, really, I have collected a number of them, and I like to share them on internet, on my Facebook page. And recently I have founded a personal web page called telescopecloud.com, which is basically a collection of instruments, and it's also a source of information to explain what I'm doing currently and what I like to do.
So everything will be on your Facebook page then?
Yeah, Facebook is really mainly the main tool that I use to share the image real time with my followers, which is something very common today. I use it mainly for that purpose, not for family purposes. But then I've got links to my internet web page, which I both use to share this information. A few months ago, I also managed by using Amazon software to publish, self-publish a booklet of pictures that I made these years, and it's available to buy both in Italian and in English. And on the website,
it's in English as well.
Also, yeah, it's both versions. There are two versions of it.
So they can just go to Amazon and see that. And
yeah, if you just type my name, Maurizio Mollinario, you will find it. And for a moderate price, you can get it at home in a few days.
And what are your next goals?
My next goal is really to keep going with the learning. It's a never-ending learning process to obtain astrophotography images. And I'll keep going with planetary and deep sky and sun solar as well, which is extremely interesting subject. A bit difficult to get because needs some special filters, but this is something that I learned also, and I want to refine this process. And hopefully I want to learn about asteroids and comet catching. So I want to hopefully discover some new near-Earth object that is down there in the darkness and it's waiting for us to be searched.
And what can you share with the public as an expert in this field of astronomy in just in a few words, since we just have, you know, some little few minutes left?
Yeah, I did also with divulgation with my association, and we do share our knowledge, and we teach people about watching the sky, using small telescopes, and teaching them to take astrophotography pictures as much as possible. And it's very successful. People is very fond of learning, and if someone wants to get deeper into this process, can contact me or go into my webpage, and I'll share the information with anyone.
And one final, okay, sorry. And one final question here, since we're running out of time for the little few minutes that, you know, Zoom gave me. What advice, if, you know, let's say someone is thinking of astronomy as a hobby, for example, what advice would you give them?
Well, they can join some astronomical association if they want to be guided, but they can start just watching the sky with a simple binocular on clear sky nights and start enjoying the view of the universe. It's simply wonderful, and if you start, we will not stop it.
What size binoculars you would say they can clearly see some, not just the moon and not just the moon, but in terms of, can they see deep sky objects with the binoculars?
Yeah, they can.
What size do you recommend?
8 by 30 is a typical size. They can be bigger than that, but with a few euros of investment, they can start really enjoying the observation of the sky, and by a map, learning how to recognize the object, like I did.
What about a 10 by 50?
I would be even better.
Ask me about that.
There is no limit really to gears, but a small one will be a very good start anyway. So I just suggest to start anyway.
Okay. Maurizio, it's been such a pleasure talking with you. And of course, you have to promise me to come back sometime. We have to do this more, right? To continue as your hobby progress.
Absolutely.
Thank you for stopping by Sky Viewers International podcast, and I wish you all the best in your upcoming endeavors.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Bye-bye.
And it's great seeing you for the first time, by the way.
Thank you, as the same for me. Thank you very much.
Okay, take care.
Bye-bye.